Hey Capricorn, welcome to Wild Pearl Tarot. Today we're going to be doing another timeless tarot reading for you. We're going to be actually starting with Oracle here in a moment. But I just wanted to say thank you so much for all your likes, your subscribes, all your love. Gosh, I love you guys so much. And I know I declare it often, but I really appreciate you. For anybody who's just joining me for the first time, they're not quite sure if they even like this channel, I just appreciate your time. This is a really active and loving community, and I always offer it up. If you'd like for me and anybody else who wants to join in to pray for you, simply say hello in the comment section below. Even leaving an emoji, that works too. It's just something that represents your energy that we can focus on. Of course, you're welcome to share anything that you're going through, of course. But yeah, so we're going to start with Oracle, getting right into it. If you haven't yet, please consider hitting that like button on your way in. We have the message. This is an affirmation message. I will persist. My will is strong. I will persist. My will is strong. We have pay yourself first coming out with the Angels of Abundance deck. Make yourself the most important financial obligation by setting aside a portion of your income every time you are paid, even if it's the tiniest amount. This loving form of self-care ensures that you'll have savings to invest in your present and your future. So much of that is psychological too, but there's this, I think that there's something spiritual attached to that action. So even if it's the smallest amount, it doesn't even matter. It's more the fact that you're thinking of yourself, that you're considering your safety, your happiness, your emotional health. And that gesture goes a long way. There's a ripple effect, right? The universe responds. Thirdly, we have the message of the crow. Universal laws and truths are now being revealed, like what I just said. Use this energy to create your reality. Boom. So it feels like my fingers are tingling. It feels like manifesting. It feels like you're more powerful than you may even realize right now. I will persist. My will is strong. So for any of you guys who enjoy longer readings, I know it's split. Some of you guys like the shorter ones. Some of you guys like the longer ones. There will be an extended, as there usually is. And that link will be in the description box below. Excuse me. Yeah, in the description box. I'm like, comment box, description box. There's all these boxes. All right. So what's coming towards my Cappies? What do they need to know about? Please make it clear what's coming towards my Cappies. Only taking the cards that fly out on their own. We're having a conversation with tarot. I'm just the interpreter. Please make it clear. Wow. Oh, cool. Okay. So stroke of good luck with that Wheel of Fortune right when you need it too. It looks like some of you guys are pretty worn out. Let's get a little bit more out on this storyline and then okay. Some of you guys are going to be changing who your collaborators are. I'm just going to say that right up front. If that resonates, take it. If it doesn't, leave it. And that goes for the whole reading, you guys. Not every reading is going to hit every Capricorn every time, right? There's this sensation that things could work out so good. You could be so abundant. It's like right around the corner. And there's like refusal to give up, but it doesn't mean that you're not exhausted. So this might be finding a lot of you guys in run down a little bit of a pessimistic place. But I just want to let you know that the Empress and the Nine of Pentacles just came out in clarity to that Nine of Wands upside down, which is that rundown energy. So this is total abundance and this is independence. So financially stable independently. This is really like enjoying the fruits of your labors, enjoying the fruits of all your efforts. And so it makes sense to me because Empress is such a nurturing energy. She's represented by a pregnant, beautiful female. And so it's really talking about creativity. It's about abundance. It's about like what is, very small can grow very large. And it makes me think about pay yourself first. Start with small amounts, that gesture. And if it's not literally financial for you, right? Let's say this is a relationship. The energy is the same. And this is how it would translate. Let's say this is a relationship reading for you. That would mean take a little time before you call that other individual, before you do something for them, before you extend yourself to them. Do it for yourself, whether that's taking a little bit of time and hopping in a nice hot shower. And you know what I mean? Like even if it's like little self-care, or if it's just waking up a little early just to dive into a book that you've been meaning to crack open for a long time. Do you know what I mean? So now we got Wheel of Fortune. This is luck is changing. It's looking good for you. But we do have some bittersweet, of course, in your reading. And it's really kind of about believing that things are going to get easier, believing that things are going to get better. Because I think that you've got a voice. A lot of you guys have this voice that kind of argues with that optimistic person. And it's only because, of course, we take what we know. Like, you know, what you've been through recently has been exhausting, and there's some different approaches you've taken because Capricorns, you're so dialed in with a success of a venture, right? Like, you don't do things willy-nilly for no reason at all. Like, there is a goal, and you know, you want to level up. That's the point of all this, right? So, you know, in your past, if you use your brain to determine your future actions, to determine your future, you're going to feel a little deflated because you've experienced it in the past, and the brain only knows what it's experienced. So it's always going to tell you, oh yeah, it's going to get you back in that rut, basically. But we have another source of wisdom, and that's your intuition, third eye, whatever you want to call it. That's your gut, your feeling, and your feeling is going to help you get out of any kind of rut of thinking. Eight of Swords. It's going to get you out of any devil energy, which is any patterns of pessimism in this case. And it's going to get you going on like a really smooth track. So there might be a voice in your head when things start looking up and coming to you easier that will be like, well, that's silly. This is just, don't believe this. Or it might be that pessimistic voice. And it's just be kind to yourself because there's a reason it's there. It's experienced that in the past. 10 of Cups in reverse. That kind of floated out. I'm just going to take it. Some of you guys have had real disruption in your family life. So for some of you guys, that includes children, extended family, you know, and a lot of you guys, it has something to do with the home. Maybe some of you guys had to leave your almost, but you know, what I love about this is that you are thinking proactively. If you, for instance, sat on your laurels and didn't do anything to acknowledge any kind of upset or shakiness in the family or in your connection and with your emotional stability and the ones you love, if you didn't do anything, then it would turn into a tower moment. But you're actually negating this. You're actually avoiding this big event because you're recognizing, you know what, we need to do this differently. We need to have a fresh start. So good for you. Yeah. So that's a great example of listening to your gut, your intuition, rather than just your head. Flipped but not flying is the Four of Swords, and that definitely confirms that. Six of Pentacles, I love this. So this is about balance. This is, you know, this is about getting spiritually unstuck. And you are up against your head a little bit, but we have the sun coming out. I love that. So I really want to pay attention to this because it deserves to be said. The Queen of Swords comes out, and you've had this theme so far in your reading with kind of mind over heart, right? But I don't want to say that the mind is always wrong. It's just, I think it's observation that is key here, because that mind of yours has been really helpful in determining what requires emotion and what doesn't. Like, where in life, while you're getting all this sorted out, where in life that emotion is going to get everything way more sticky. And so that's why Queen of Swords, who rules over the mind, Queen and King of Swords are like the mind. They're very quick, they're clever, they're all about getting down to the nitty-gritty truth of it all. They're independent thinkers. She's helping you out, you know, and this could even be some of you guys working with an individual who is helping you out that way. So there is this harmony that one has to strike between the two. And I really want to pay attention to that, because I don't want to have you thinking in this tarot reading that you need to cast away everything that your brain is telling you, right? And just follow your gut. They just have to work in tandem. So you might be surprised actually in what they get along with, what they both agree with, your heart and your mind. And one of those things might be who you're collaborating with. Let's just find out what this is saying. The Three of Pentacles. Tell me more about the Three of Pentacles for my Capricorns. Five of Pentacles. I think there's a collaboration that is either financially or emotionally bleeding you dry. There's just insufficient support there. And so, and I think that that's a place that, High Priestess, that's your intuition, right? But I think that your intuition, your heart, and your mind shake hands on that one. Okay, so we're going to do something here. We're going to actually take, I want to do this new oracle deck I've got, and these are mudras. And these are like basically hand gestures that can be very empowering. They come with a meaning. And I love the idea that I can leave you today. For those of you who don't follow me onto the extended, we're going to get advice, by the way, on that extended. But I want a little advice here. I want a little bit of comfort, something that you can do during this whole process. And you're very powerful through this whole process. I mean, the first card that came out, I will persist. My will is strong. And will is another place that our head and our heart can shake hands with. So this is all about standing back and noticing patterns, noticing how your thoughts are helping and heating. So this mudra that flies out is going to be your message, basically, your physical affirmation. And of course, it's got to be weird. Of course, it's got to be hard for me to show you. So this is about commitment. Give what you can. It says this mudra helps stabilize you, gives inner support and balance. Be true to yourself and always give of the best. Even if you think it's only very little, we cannot always play a perfect role, but we can always try to do our best. In retrospect, we often see how what we have been able to do has had much more of an effect as what we expected. Excuse me. Let me say that again. But we can always try to do our best. In retrospect, we often see what we have been able to do has much more effect than what we expected, even if it seemed rather feeble at the time. It's almost as if there was something working behind the scenes which makes up for what seems to be a deficiency. Let the light of the cosmos shine on what you do and what you leave undone. And that's important too. In this way, the true value and depth of your deeds is revealed. This is the affirmation that comes with this hand gesture. I do my best and let the universe do the rest. I love that. Okay. Very, very interesting. So basically you're kind of make a pinchy sign like that, and then you're going to cup it like that. So the thumb is kind of, I'm going to get up and show you. The thumb is kind of touching those. And it feels kind of tender and sweet. Do it yourself and see what it feels like. It kind of reminds me of pay yourself first. Take good care of yourself first. Give what you can, but leave some for yourself. We've come full circle, right? I'm going to show you the picture as well. There you go, boo. All right. I love you all. I hope that was helpful. Take good care. Mwah.